So 10 seconds before going live.
Okay.
You can start, Monique.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us on this late afternoon, the last session of the first day of this conference. I might remind you already that there's a lot of more interesting stuff happening tomorrow and the day after. Thank you to this wonderful panel, and we're going to talk about advertising-based video on-demand services in Europe. Now, Dataxis has done a little bit of research into that, and I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. The market in Europe, what can we say? Between 2014 and 2020, immense growth in millions of euros, and also quite a bit of growth in the active platforms, especially since last year. So something is happening there. Suddenly, lots of different companies, operators, broadcasters, media houses, telecom people think, in this world of TV, maybe we should do advertising-based video on-demand services. Now, we have an excellent panel with us who are all doing this. They're not thinking about it, they're doing this. They're putting new services in the market that are advertising-based. I briefly mentioned them, and then one by one, I want to talk to them first about what exactly they're doing. Now, we have Clément César, the Chief Business Development Officer of Molotov. We have Yacine Roca, the CEO of Rakuten TV. We have Olivier Jolet, who's the Senior Vice President Emerging Business for Viacom CBS Networks. A lot of other roles under that, I'll talk about it later. And we have Philip Rotomount, who is the CEO and founder of Video Solutions AG, and they do Watch4 and Turcom Video and a lot of other new services. Now, let me just start with Clément. Molotov. What is Molotov? What does it do? And I understand you actually just launched an advertising-based channel, adding to the existing Molotov offering. Clément, tell us a little bit about what you are doing.
Yeah, thank you, Monique. So, hi, everyone. So, yeah, you're totally right. We just launched and announced last week our new AVOD channel called Mongo. Just to let you know, that Molotov is an OTT TV platform, which gives the ability to access your entire television universe, meaning that you can find on Molotov live channels, but also AVOD channels now, and also premium channels or premium packages. So Molotov is in France, is a leading OTT TV platform in France with a freemium model. So with a live channel and subscription package. And we monetize our audience on the free side through advertising, and the premium side is through subscription services. That's our, I will say, our main activity, B2C activity, but we also have, just to let people know, a B2B activity where we just launched and announced also some partnership on this side where we provide our OTT TV platform on a white label for telcos, publishers, or content owners to have their own OTT platform over the world.
Okay, and you have 13 million subscribers there, or people that connect to the platform.
So
that's for the subscription-based services. So
no, we have. It's a good question. Sorry to interrupt. So it's a good question. We have 30 million registered in France. We have 3 million active users, monthly active users on the platform, and a part of that is on the subscription base, more than 200,000 subscribers today.
And you just launched this. What is the response so far? Is there anything you can already say about this new offering? How do people respond to it?
Very well. It's very exciting because I think it's you know, specifically in France maybe, but you don't have really AVOD offer in France, just because the fact that you have of course live channel, or you have catch-up mode with its the ability to get some content, but it's with a short period of time. So for us, having the first to launch an offer where you can access to movies, documentary shows, and kids content for free. Really, it's a big success. We're happy with the first numbers. We have more than 1 hour per day on this content on our platform, which is huge. So it's just a beginning, but it's the fact that people are waiting for this service for sure.
Okay. Okay, very good. Let's spark it. We go to the next one. We'll come back to those choices as well. What kind of content do you put on those channels? Jacinto Roca, CEO of Rakuten TV. Now, Rakuten, you are in 43 million households in Europe. And you also used to do only TVOD, so transaction VOD, buy a movie, see it. You're now also into AVOD. Tell us about it. What are you exactly offering?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to organize this panel, Monique, and I hope everyone in the audience is safe and healthy. Yes, Rakuten TV is present in 43 countries in Europe. We have always been a TVOD service, bringing cinema experience in your living room. And we had content from all the Hollywood studios and local European producers. Early this year, we added AVOD to our proposition. So we combine TVOD with AVOD. And by the end of this year, we are going to expand this AVOD to linear channels as well. So in these 43 countries, which is more than 30 million households, we have a remote control button of your TV with a branded key, Rakuten TV.
Yeah.
So we have a massive traffic. We have over 15 million unique visitors every month. And the idea is to monetize that traffic with these linear channels for free. And the idea is that within our application, we will have linear channels from third-party players. So we become like a marketplace where we welcome channels from great companies, like some of the ones that are today in the panel, to join our marketplace of linear channels. So we bring them massive distribution and massive reach, and we become a platform for linear channels from third-party companies.
Interesting choice. Yeah.
That is in a nutshell what we are doing, and we are seeing a tremendous growth because we just launched linear channels on beta in some countries, very hidden, and we see that the traffic is very high and the engagement is very good, and we are more than happy to welcome people that want to launch their linear channel across Europe to join our Rakuten TV linear channels marketplace.
Interesting, a completely different approach, very interesting. We'll come back to that as well. I mean, linear channels again. Olivier Jolet is the Senior Vice President Emerging Business for Viacom CBS Networks, which acquired Pluto TV, and he's also the MD Europe of Pluto TV, Head of Emerging Business. And they're running subscription VOD in the Nordics, premium service, but also advertising-based VOD in Western Europe. Now, Olivier, tell us, what exactly do you do?
I think first of all, thanks for the invitation. It's great to participate to this panel and with all those great panelists. So just to speak about my role, and basically I would make a deep dive on Pluto. I'm responsible for the overall streaming strategy for Viacom CBS across Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia. And Viacom CBS as a clear streaming strategy, which is a twin track strategy with a SVOD product, showcasing all the iconic brands that we have in-house from Paramount, Showtime, CBS All Access. This product is called Paramount Plus. It's an SVOD product, which will be launched in the Nordics in Europe in early next year. but also in Australia, Latin America, and the CBS All Access product in the US will be rebranded under the Paramount Plus brand. Beside the premium streaming offering, we have Pluto TV, which is our free streaming offering. And Pluto TV has been acquired 1 year, in 2019 by Viacom CBS. The company used to be a startup founded in 2014. So a time where nobody was talking about AVOD, where the ad-supported model were probably a no-go in this industry. And I'm sure Philippe's going to talk about that as well. But quite clearly, we believe that there was a huge potential in creating well-created channels for free, ad-supported, and bringing that to users. And that's what Pluto TV is all about. We are trying to recreate a kind of new TV landscape for digital audience by delivering a huge variety of different created channels, original channels that our editorial team are creating and putting together. Today, Pluto TV is live in 23 countries, got more than 36 million monthly active users. And we're live in the US, obviously, in the UK, in Germany, Switzerland, Austria, in Latin America, in Spain, and since today in Brazil. So big day as well. Yeah, that's what we do.
Big player as well. Thank you so much. And then the last person in our panel, Philip Rotomount, is the CEO and founder of Video Solutions AG. Amongst others, Turk Video, Watch for free, advertising-based channels in Germany, the UK, and expanding very quickly. Philip, tell us about this.
Hi, Monique, and hello to everyone, and also thank you to be on this panel today. Video Solutions is running several VOD services, mostly targeting European countries. In particular, we are active in the German-speaking markets as our first market, where we launched about 4.5 years ago. And then almost exactly on the day, like November last year, we launched the UK with our second brand, W for Free. All our W assets are purely AVOD products. So we offer a vast variety of movies, scripted and unscripted TV shows. As I said, German-speaking territories was our first market where we've been growing quite rapidly throughout the last couple of years, but then also UK since last year has been a super success story for us. And that has been very beneficial for us. Added to the AVOD world, we also run a SVOD channel called Turk Video, which we do worldwide outside Turkey, where we're mostly targeting the Turkish-speaking diaspora living abroad. And we are primarily featuring the best movies which has the Turkish movie industry to offer. And we have them like 6 months after theatrical release, which is a quite bold offer to the audience. As of today, in our key territories, we also reach around 10 million people every month. This year has been for us the year of distribution. The years before, we obviously worked on our owned and operated services, meaning website, iOS apps, Android apps, and so forth. But this year, basically, we launched on several other platforms, such as Sumo, Huawei Video. We're about to launch on Magenta TV in Germany, on the Swisscom TV box, on NetJam in the UK, and so forth. And also, we're talking to Rakuten very actively, and we hope to be a partner of you guys soon as well.
Our pleasure.
Interesting news there. Because now we now know a little bit about what you all do. I mean, big players in the European AVOD landscape. I want to invite everybody who's watching. This is the moment. If you have questions, please do ask them. Put them in the chat, because how often do you have the chance to talk to the movers and shakers in AVOD? All of you have big decisions to make. I mean, all of you are launching channels or are expanding in new markets and are basically trying to carve out audience advertising combinations, but also distribution choices. So that's the first thing I actually wanted to ask about. how do you decide? Because some of you go desktop only and then expand. Some of you, I mean, Rakuten is very connected to Samsung Smart TV. What are the considerations when you roll out an AVOD service in Europe? What is the difficult thing and what is the ideal situation? Who wants to go first?
I can go. I think.
Go ahead.
I mean, at one point you have to decide where you want to start first. I think in the end it probably doesn't matter. In the beginning, you have to make the focus on one platform. We started with web. That was our, should I say, we felt most comfortable with that situation at the point when we started. But obviously, it was clear from the beginning that we want to be on the big screen for several reasons. First of all, it's nicer to consume your movies on the big screen or your TV show, your favorite TV show. And then on the other hand side, you know, as of today, the advertising industry is kind of liking to be on the big screen. As Olivier mentioned earlier, you know, Pluto being even a little bit older than us, but, you know, when we actually started the AVOD thing, you know, talking to advertisers, talking to content suppliers, everyone said, AVOD, what is that? You know, we don't want to have anything to do with that, but we know free TV, but we don't know AVOD. But then in a second phase, then it's very clear as I think we're the substitution to free TV to a certain extent. You need to create massive reach, and that means you want to be literally on every devices out there. If someone turns on any device, your service needs to be there. I think that is key in the end to reach the maximum number of eyeballs.
Yeah, for advertising, you need as many people as possible out there.
Yeah.
Which also results in everybody trying to aggregate as much content as they can into one service, right? What about Rakuten indeed? Because that's has a smart TV focus, I think. It didn't start online; it started on the smart TV, right?
Yeah. So we always thought since we started with Wacky, later Rakuten, that the smart TV was the key device where premium content will be watched. No? So this is why we have invested in owning that real estate on the remote control button across different TV brands in 43 countries. And we contribute with distribution. But the part that is also very important, and the three companies that are here today, besides us, they do very well sourcing the content for the channels. No? I think that having the right content for the right customers, that is very important, especially when you have a free proposition. No? So you need to have something that appeals to that lean back experience that customers have in their living room in front of the TV. And for that, the content selection that these guys are doing is great, no? And makes those customers to be engaged and active. This is why we focus our role on becoming a distribution platform and welcoming players like companies in this panel that they have more experience on the selection of the right content to build the right channels. No? And that is one thing. No? I think that the channel on one side has value and distribution on the other side has value. And I think that with advertising, what is very important is reach. No? Because if you don't reach certain reach, it's difficult to get on board brands that advertise on traditional TV. No? So this is why I think it's very important to make sure that there is reach out there and that we can offer those targeting capabilities, which again is part of the Rakuten TV proposition, making sure that we can offer advanced targeting capabilities to the brands so they can really target the segments that they want to target, and they have data on what has been the results of those impressions that they have generated.
So you have reach because you are on many smart TVs and you are on the remote controls, which is a lot of people would like to be there. You have data on the consumers because they access your channel via the smart TV. How does that then work? I mean, if you work with, some channels say, okay, I want to be part of the Rakuten offer. Do you then also service their advertising needs? Do you sell the ads? Do you connect to advertisers, or do you give them the tools to work with advertisers? Who is the contact with the advertisers, with the brands that want to be on that network?
Normally, we sell the advertising because we have a strong sales team across Europe and because we have the data and the targeting capabilities, and we share revenue share with the channels. In some cases, some channels want to maintain a percentage of the inventory, and we are also open to that. No? They keep the inventory so they can sell the advertising by themselves. So we offer both options. But in many cases, new channels, they prefer us because, again, since Rakuten TV has the reach, the sales force, and the targeting capabilities, we can probably help them monetize better than if they do it by themselves.
Okay. Molotov, Clément, how do you see this? For Molotov, what is the most important platform, and how do you then connect your advertising VOD offer with the advertisers?
Yeah, good question. So for us, the idea was really to, from the beginning, and to fit with, I will say, user expectation around how to consume TV content. And what we've seen is, like, as the guys are saying on the panel, and it's all true. It's I mean, today, people want to consume on many devices. So we even if it's a fragmented area, we are on mobile, we are on a desktop, we are on tablet, we are on TV screens, smart TVs, all these devices. So it's quite a work, but at the end, we see that effectively a user will each day go on mobile to find some content, go also on the desktop and on the TV screen. Of course, the TV screen is the key experience for TV, because when you're watching a movie or even news or sport, you're happy to be on the big screen, or it's a family moment. But at the end, you also sometimes want to be sure that if you are in the subway or anything else, you can catch up on the content on your mobile. So for us, it's all the environment which is important, just to be sure that our customers will find us. So and that's for all our offers, not only just for AVOD content. We bring this in a way through AVOD channel to our to brands, because after that, of course, it's a digital inventory. Then you can I will say, offer to brands through different players. You have, and I guess everyone will talk about it, but you have, I mean, I will say two kind of ways. You have what we call specific partnership, sponsorship, where we have internal teams to sell very specific operation for brands and brand safety, brand native operation. Or you have programmatic, which is really using ad servers. It's maybe a bit technical, maybe I don't get there, but it's really, in this case, connecting with big ad server. We partner, for example, with Freewheel in France, and with these guys, you have the ability to be always on, and we're saying, and you have an easy way to fit the demand of brands, because they can connect directly to your inventory in the platform.
Oh, we should definitely talk about a little bit of ad tech in a minute. But let's ask Philippe, because what I understand is you right away went to all the platforms, right? STB, Samsung, Apple, Fire TV, apps. You wanted to be everywhere right from the start with your offer.
I mean, we started in the web, that's for sure. But obviously, we're trying to go out to every possible device. So that's what we call owned and operated. That will be iOS, Android, Roku, and so forth. And then, the other way is the distribution, that meaning making partnerships with, companies like Samsung TV Plus, with Huawei, with Rakuten, with all these companies who take third-party channels or VOD offers on top. That can be also set-top boxes, who don't offer like a marketplace, but more like a selection process. So yeah, in the end, we want to be everywhere. That's our key goal.
Yeah, well, I guess all of you guys want to be everywhere on all the platforms. The difference is more where you start and then expand to offer service on any. Everybody knows that mobile phones are now also TV channels and so forth. This goes for all of you. So let's say this AVOD is really growing very fast and will be able to build up many more millions of viewers all over Europe. What do you do as from your role when it comes to the advertising and the advertising technology? Because we already was mentioned programmatic, where there's quick auctions for whoever is watching. The big campaigns that take an agency and a service and salespeople and the connections. They're two different worlds, but they are of course both advertising worlds. Where do you sit with your offer? Do you outsource that? Do you find a partner? Do you do it all yourself? In terms of human relations and also the technology itself, do you just have partners that organize that in the background, or do you have in-house services to make sure the advertisers and the commercials get served where they should be served? I mean, I think there are different approaches among you guys. Who wants to go first?
I can start maybe. I think the first thing which I think is really important to mention, because we talk about deviceability, and I think it's pretty clear that the four players have a clear focus on big screen, because we're talking about TV experience, but whether it's a pure AVOD or lean back experience like Pluto, it's we want to entertain the users in the living room, and I think what it's very important to have a look back at the history, and especially a few years ago when the SVOD services arrived, they became super quickly successful. And the biggest loser in that case was the advertising industry, because obviously from a sudden an audience shift to an ad-free service like Netflix and Prime Video. And you see like the ratings in TV, traditional TV, they are declining, the audience is becoming older, it's becoming even more difficult to reach a younger audience. And I think that's the beauty of platform of AVOD or FAST, what is also what Pluto is doing, free advertising, ad-supported streaming TV service, is the fact that we're bridging the gap between the digital inventory and the TV inventory. So we are offering an inventory, which is a digital inventory, and Jacinto speak about that, which is targetable, which is brand safe, where advertisers can decide exactly the audience, the number of times they want to reach that audience, but the impact is the same than a TV ad, because you reach the consumers in the living room. In the case of Pluto, we have no pre-roll. We have only full screen advertising, non-skippable ads, and we are offering a pure brand safety environment, which is a big topic, because the AVOD is like bigger than what we're talking. There is also everything related to the GAFA business, and the brand safety is a topic there and very concerning for certain advertisers. I think that is, beside the technical solution, it's very important to mention that. And in the case of Pluto, we're working with a lot of different partners. In certain countries, we have our own direct sales team, but we usually, the European market, for example, is less advanced than the US one in terms of programmatic. So it's still a market dominated by big ad sales houses, and it's obviously important to work with those ones. The programmatic market is taking off. The great players like SpotX or FreeLSFX, Magnite, we work with all of them, doing an amazing job, but the market is still coming. So there is some limitation due to the structure of the market. And I think that's the reason why at Pluto we're following a multi-partner strategy, but obviously trying to always be on the top in terms of ad tech, and we are building our own ad tech solution in-house. We have a huge team of developers based in the US and building.
What does that ad tech that you build in-house do? Because with the programmatic, you outsource it to all the programmatic partners. For the agencies, you work with the agencies that have the connections to the brand. So what do you build? A CRM system?
No, I think what is, I think, the vision of Pluto is to do like an experience which is smooth slice like TV. So you switch it off and you watch. And when you watch TV, there is no black screen between content and ads, for example. So what we do, for example, we develop our own dynamic ad insertion solution, which allow actually to have a completely linear experience. There is no buffering when the ads is coming. The ads, it's technical, but it's stitched within the content. All the ad calls are taking place a few milliseconds before the ad break is starting. And then you have like, it looks like TV. The ads are already in the content. And I think that's what we're doing in-house. And we plug the different partners to our servers.
Okay. Who else? Who wants to explain how they do?
If I may, just to add a point to Olivier and just mention what is very interesting also with the first discussion we had with brands and is like the fact also that thanks to a digital inventory on TV screen, you are able to respond to different type of budget. You don't need anymore to have a huge advertising budget to go on linear TV because it's a lot of money, but you can reach TV users, you will say, through lower budget thanks to this, we'll say, digital world. So that's also, I think, a new impact of this kind of new offer that we are building here, and these guys are doing that all across Europe. But in France, that's what we see from a lot of advertisers. Is like we help, to of course better perform and measure this inventory. So that's a point I think it's worth to mention between this shift between a little bit linear TV to AVOD also content which is on TV. Also on I think it's a major point what Olivier was mentioning around how we build something around the experience on the TV on the platform, because what we want at the end is true, is like we want to find the same experience that you have on the broadcast TV on your digital, meaning that you have no latency between your content and an advert and an ad. And to do so in-house, what we have done on ourselves is to also implement the same kind of solution, meaning a server-side solution where you take the ad at the beginning at the server side, and for the user, there's really no buffering, no problem. And that was quite a job to do in the last year to build that, but we got happy with these numbers. And that's very this reduce friction. And what is important also, and I think it's good to mention on this kind of solution, is like when you have a server-side implementation, also you avoid any kind of ad blocking, because today, as we know, we have more and more ad blocking system. It's not good for brands, it's not good for the business, which at the end, if the brand is and the ad is well served, everyone is happy. That's what we've seen in our consumption.
Okay.
In our case, Monique, if I can add a point on the technology part, we focus a lot on data. So we always under the GDPR restrictions, but we get the user consent to make sure we can gather data, and we create our own data management platform, so we can create targeted campaigns and even measure the post impressions conversion rates. No? I think that's a very important part for brands. That
do you have your own system to collect data, and is the data more than, okay, this family watches a lot of sports, or is it this is a family that has a dog, and in fact it doesn't have a dog, it has a Great Dane, so we have to serve commercials with Great Danes in them for dog food and not with other dogs? I mean, how detailed can you go? Because so far I hear everybody talking about, oh, it should be like TV, but of course it has the added targeting that comes from the internet, where you can collect data and make things much more personal. So what is new? Or, for the advertisers, what new services can you offer advertisers that don't exist in the world as we know it so far?
So if you are a brand targeting kids, you can definitely build a campaign targeting only families with kids. And we can do that because we know which customers, which content they are watching. We know the IP of our customers and what is the external sources, external data sources that match with those IPs, and we have additional data of what they do over the internet. Obviously, always under GDPR restrictions, but that gives you enough data to build targeted campaigns to brands, no? To advertisers, which today is very important, no? Because I think that in the new world, two things are happening. One is the young audience is not watching TV anymore, traditional TV. So you need to reach that target segment in OTT. And on the other side, there are no crazy budgets anymore for advertising. No? Any company in the world is measuring every dollar they expend on advertising. No? So they really need to see that the investment they are doing on advertising is going to the target segment that they have for their product or their service. And they can even measure after the impression what is the conversion rate of those customers. No? And I think that's a game changer for brands to move to this new TV, this new way of watching TV. Is the beauty of TV with the clever of the internet.
Okay.
I think just to add on Jacinto's point, I think there was an interesting trend. I mean, as we all know, we're facing like a terrible time with the pandemic. But when you have a look at the advertising world, you saw that, and there is a recent studies in the US showing that the advertisers are, due to the pandemic, more likely to spend on what we call CTV inventory than on TV inventory. Why? Because they control the budget. Exactly what Clément was saying. When you spend on TV, it's great. It's bringing a lot of awareness, but you're not controlling your budget. You don't know exactly which audience you reach. And that is exactly what digital can bring. And that's the reason why you give, like, in time of crisis, such as the one we're facing, giving the confidence to the big advertisers that they know exactly that every dollar they spend will be allocated to reach the correct audience is a huge value. And I think that is the reason why a lot of the budget, I mean, slowly are shifting also to a more targetable, addressable inventory.
Yeah, and then the challenge is who knows most about each of us, and it's very often the GAFA and not the European operators. We only have, well, less than 10 minutes left. We have 100 topics to still discuss. But what I would like to know is from each one of you, what to expect in the future. And maybe one particular topic to address is how important the user interface is, and how important you see your own role in this, in developing this and making this an experience that users will be coming back to on and on and on. But as said, that's only a small part of what you are trying to build out. You're trying to build out a whole new system out there in Europe for content consumption. Where does this go? What is your view for the future? What is the big challenge? Philippe, maybe you start.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we have certainly, you know, 4 players on the table right now, and there's certainly a few more to come. A big question is always whether Netflix will come up with an advertising-funded version in the near future.
Well,
no one really knows
linear
that.
channel, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's something going on, exactly. But I think, I mean, there will be more players coming into the market. I think, you know, Tubi, which has been just bought by Fox earlier this year, they announced coming to Europe, and there's certainly a few others, and there are already a few others in the market which are not participating in the panel today. So I think it will be more crowded in the near future, and then obviously at one point there will be, you know, some sort of consolidation coming in. But I think in general the topic AVOD that will have, I mean, double-digit growth rates for the next couple of years, because there have been many studies out there that, you know, people are, you know, there's a limit what they can spend on entertainment, which I think the German-speaking market and even the UK, it's around 25 euros per month. And then if you have like a Netflix subscription and probably Disney Plus, and you want to watch sports, you already exceeded that particular budget, and but the overall demand for more content is there. So the only other opportunity you have to go into the free world, and that's exactly where we are sitting today. And so the question is, I think it's not who's winning the race. I mean, when we started the business, I mean, all my friends said, "What are you doing there? I mean, Netflix kills it all." And I said, "I don't think so. I mean, Netflix is doing a great job in their field, but it's a different business model. And in the end, there will be no one out there who has all the content available. And there are certain niches, certain verticals, which always have their right to be there."
Well, this is the AVOD year, right? Everybody's stuck at home, can't go nowhere, has to watch TV, and everybody's losing their job, or at least lots of people are, and have no money to spend. So where do you have to go? Clément, what do you think? What is the big challenge for the future, and where does this go? I mean, you are really all together building this industry right now. So
yeah, good. Yeah, I think it's of course to I will say go in the same way of Philippe. Of course, I think it's a AVOD. It's a new way of consuming content for our region. But for us, Molotov, we already have linear TV. We already have SVOD content. So it's part of our DNA to have this full offer, I will say, but it's a big part, of course, because we see as we are mentioning that probably there's a limit on numbers of SVOD subscription a family can have, because it's at the end a lot of money, and what we see from the numbers, and we were mentioning before in the US, where you have a lot SVOD, AVOD consumption is bigger now than SVOD consumption. It's a key element for the future, meaning that there is a lot of room for AVOD content. Probably there will be many players, and one day a little bit of viewers will run. But what is sure is, like in Europe today, we were a little bit behind, and so there's in the next 2 years for sure a lot of growth for all the players around the table today, but probably for others also. So it's a very exciting time, and we're very, very happy to have all these guys coming also for France, and
you're sitting on this big wave that is rising, so it's not a bad place to be. Yeah.
And we are at the time where we need each other also to educate, I will say, to help to grow this market.
Yeah,
so it's good news.
And bundling, but you would also think that new kinds of offers will come out of this. Automatically generated linear channels based on a VOD offer plus advertising. New things will happen as well. It's not just what is here now will grow, I think. Olivier, and then Jacinto. Olivier.
Yeah, I think for what I think is, and especially in the case of Pluto, for us, we keep expanding. I mean, we are on a fantastic track. I mentioned that at the intro. So we'll be launching new territories. France and Italy are next in the roadmap. Brazil, I just mentioned that. Our goal is also always to improve the user experience, make it simple. Technology is great, but make a simple product is not easy sometimes. So I think it's the perfect mix between technology and user experience. Offer better content is key. The studios are more open to AVOD, and I think it's great for all of us on the table to have those new rights available. I mean, we just launched in the US a Narcos channels. We have a James Bond channels live. I mean, those would have been unthinkable just a few months ago, or maybe years ago. It would even more. And I think what is also key is partnerships. I mean, the market is becoming crowded. It's key to strike some key partnerships, and it's also where we'll see. And I will echo what Clément was saying. I think it's good to have a lot of players in the market. You can't build a market alone. Competition is building the market, and the bigger it's going to be, the better. Not everybody will survive, but the market is big enough to have a big piece of the cake. So,
yeah, I come from the world of conferences, industry conferences, and that's where especially when a new market is being built, that's where you want to hang out and meet people and make new alliances. That's such a pity they can't be here. Jacinto, your last words for you. Where is this going?
So I think there are two things that I would like to say. One is producing originals that go straight into AVOD. That is something that we will see it happening more and more in the next months, years. We have Rakuten TV, we have a channel called Rakuten TV Stories, which is built by original documentaries about the sports. And I think there is a big opportunity on building originals in movies, TV shows, documentaries for the AVOD industry. No, that's something that I think we will see happening more and more. And the next thing that for me is very interesting is how AVOD can change e-commerce. So there is a new concept called T-commerce, that being Rakuten a leading e-commerce platform in Japan, we see an opportunity on the AVOD and free linear channels becoming the next revolution for e-commerce, moving into T-commerce, TV commerce. Those are the two things that I see innovative in the following years.
That's a 20-year-old promise, but it now seems to be coming, right? The idea of connecting commerce with TV was there always, in more ways than just commercials, but now with all the data there and all the order services and the clicks and the interaction, interesting development. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us and keep building. We'll be watching. All of us. Thank you so much. And for you in the audience, thank you for watching this session, and more tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.